welcome to my channel. 2018 is almost over and I'm kind of freaking out because I've purchased quite a few books and have not read them yet. So instead of doing like the end of the year book tag, which had a lot of questions that I do not have an answer for, I'm just gonna go through the books that are on my shelf that I haven't read yet. I'm sure compared to a lot of like bigger booktubers, this is gonna be like nothing. But for me, just an average bookwormy person, this is a ton of books to have and not have read them yet. I've just been buying too many books and not reading enough of them. So with that being said, let's jump into it. So the first book that I'm going to be talking about was on my October TBR, and October was just too busy for me. I didn't get to it, and then I got busy with other books. So this is The Couple Next Door by Shari Lapina. I probably can start this in the next couple of days. I have a stretch where I have several days off of work, and since this is a thriller, it's not that thick. I'll probably knock it out really quick. So I'm not too concerned about finishing this book before the end of the year. The next book that I have is a nonfiction book, Packing for Mars by Mary Roach. And this is just basically about life on the space station and spaceships and things like that, and how science and figuring out how to help people survive in space where there's like no atmosphere and oxygen and all those things that we depend upon for life here on Earth. So yeah, this should be a pretty interesting read, just because I really like space. But probably not like a fast, exciting read, I'm thinking, since it is nonfiction, and that's just why I haven't picked this one up. I've had this book for several months now. I just haven't really been in the mood for that kind of read. Okay, so next I'm gonna go through, I have way too many YA books for someone who has not been having a good time with YA recently. So first I have Scythe. This one I actually have really high hopes for, because it's not like YA fantasy or like contemporary YA. It's kind of, okay, this is where my dumbness shows. I'm not really sure if it's like utopian or dystopian fiction, because to me off the bat it sounds utopian, because the whole like premise of the book is this is a world where humans have conquered like all of our troubles. There's no hunger, there's no war, there's not even death. So to me that sounds perfect, but then I can tell like obviously things are not peachy with society, because for population control and things like that, people have to die. So there are these people called Scythes who kill who needs to be killed. And that sounds kind of dystopian to me, like that's not cool. But the book is about two young adults who get chosen like at random when they come of age to be scythes and to kill people whoever they're commanded to kill. I've heard good things about this book. I'm really excited. It sounds interesting to me. I think it's going to be a little bit more of a deeper look at society, and a little bit heavier than some of the other YA books that I have been having trouble enjoying recently. The next YA book that I have is Children of Blood and Bone by Tomi Adeyemi. I don't really want to read the synopsis for this because I know I'm gonna like mispronounce like all of these words and things, but mostly I'm excited to read this, and this book really caught my eye because it's a YA like fantasy magical world where the characters aren't white and that never happens. This book I feel like though is gonna be a little bit heftier for me because this sucker is really thick. Oh boy. So we'll see. This is a book that I don't think I'm gonna finish by the end of the year, but I really want to read this. And next I have The Hazelwood by Melissa Albert. This is kind of a little book. I think I can finish it at some point before the end of the year. But it's another kind of like YA fantasy book about a girl whose mom goes missing, and the only clue is a note from her mom that says, "Stay away from the Hazelwood." And it's just so pretty. So I'm excited to read this book. Yeah. The next couple of YA books that I have are YA contemporaries. They're books that I do not really have high hopes for. I know some people really like these books, so I apologize to you guys if I don't love these books. We just have different tastes. And YA, pretty much any kind of contemporary novel is not super my thing, and especially YA contemporary. I just figured I would try these because people had good things to say about them. So I was like, if I don't like these, then I should probably just give up on YA contemporary, maybe. But I'm like a sucker for books with like a pretty cover, so. But the first one is Save the Date by Morgan Matson. This is actually a signed first edition, so she gave a heart and a smiley face, so that's fun. But this is a book about a girl. It's like after her first semester of college, she goes home and her sister is getting married. There's like hijinks and things, and I kind of get like a rom-com-y feel from this book, so I'm not really sure if I'll enjoy it. Like I said, just hoping for a light, easy read with this, pretty much. And then also the same thing with Fangirl by Rainbow Rowell. I kind of have iffy feelings about this because I can tell, like, she's supposed to be fangirling over this fantasy, whatever. It sounds like Harry Potter, like they couldn't actually use Harry Potter for, like, trademark copyright reasons, but it's supposed to be like she's a big Harry Potter geek and she's starting college, and just like all the changes and stuff that happen with that, maybe Save the Date and Fangirl might have been books that Fangirl and Save the Date might be books that would have been better. There we go. For me to read when I was in college, or maybe like a senior in high school, or when that thing appealed to me more. Right now, I just figured I'd pick them up to go outside of my comfort zone and see what I thought. The next book that I am super excited to read. The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo by Taylor Jenkins Reid. I have not heard a negative review for this book. It sounds like fascinating. It's about like an old Hollywood star, and she hasn't been interviewed in a while. She's kind of become more reclusive as her fame fades, I guess. And somebody finally lands an interview with her. And anyway, then they get this whole story about her, like, exciting life. But anyway, it sounds good. I'm excited to read it. It should be really interesting. So that's that. And the last book that I have, I think it's going to be the heaviest, like, subject material out of all of them. This is Brother by David Sheriandi. Oh God, I'm so sorry. But this is an uncorrected proof. I've had this book for quite a while, so I'm sure like the official edition is out by now. But this is about they're two brothers and their mother immigrate here from Trinidad, and one of the brothers gets shot. And that's pretty much all that I know. I don't know if it's like a police violence or I don't know what the circumstances are, but I am excited to read this book. I think there's going to be like some important insights and commentary on just how things are going in America today. And it is a little book, but I'm thinking that it's going to be some pretty heavy, obviously pretty heavy subject material, but I think it's going to be an important story, I feel like. So those are all the books. Let me hold up the stack. These are all the books that I have on one of my bookshelves that I haven't read this year. I do not think I'm going to be able to read all of them just because of like my work schedule and holidays and all of that mess. But so that's just my like end of the year panic that I have all these books that I haven't read. I'm trying to keep a promise to myself to not buy any more books until I finish these. We'll see how that promise goes. But thanks for watching. Bye!